people who want to make a positive difference in the world? How many of you want to make a positive difference in the world? Raise your hand. Raise it real high like this. Like, yes, I want to make a positive difference. Yes. Okay. So let me say this to you, okay? Everybody in this room, I don't care what chair you're in right now, everybody in this room, the second that you were conceived, greatness was put inside of you. Greatness was put inside of you. So you all legitimately, I don't care where you're from, I don't care what your background is, I don't care what color your skin is, what color your hair is, I don't care what color your eyes are, what color your shirt is, what chair you're sitting in right now. Each and everybody in this room right now legitimately has the ability to change the world. And you will. You will change the world. You will change the world. You will change people's lives. The question is not whether you will or not, but how you will do it. See, it's up to you to choose how you will use what's inside of you and what you're going to do with it. But you're going to change the world and change people's lives in some way. It's either going to be good or bad. It's either going to help or it's going to hurt. But you are going to change the world and you are going to change lives. That's the reality. But it's up to you to choose how you will do it. Now, you have somebody like Martin Luther King Jr. Okay? So Martin Luther King Jr., he chose to use all of the greatness inside of him, all of the power inside of him, all of the ability inside of him, all of the potential inside of him. And what did he do? He chose to use it to fight. He fought for the rights of people. He fought for life. He fought for it so much that he gave his own life for it. That's what he chose to do with it. But then on the other hand, you have somebody like Adolf Hitler. Now, Hitler had the same type of greatness inside of him. The same type of power, the same type of ability, the same type of potential. But he chose to use what was put inside of him to murder millions of innocent people. That's what he chose to do with what was inside of him. Now, the reality is that all of us, we have that type of greatness and power and ability inside of us. It's up to us to choose what we will do with it. Will we help? Will we hurt? Good, evil, positive, negative, right? But we can all make a positive difference if we choose to. Now, how many of you think that it's easy to make a positive difference in the world, to change the world in a positive way? Anybody? It can be easy. It can be easy. But what it comes down to is whether it's easy or not, you have to make the choice to put in the effort to make it happen, right? Right? How many of you have dreams or goals? So who's going to accomplish your dreams or goals for you? Us. Nobody can accomplish your dreams for you. Nobody can achieve your goals for you. If those are going to happen, you have to do it for yourself. Nobody else is going to do it. How many of you have ever heard this statement? I want my cake and to eat it too. Never heard that statement? Nobody. Wow. I want my cake and to eat it too. Well, that's a pretty popular statement, at least it was. Maybe it's going out of style, I don't know. But here's the problem with that statement. See, everybody wants their cake and to eat it too, but nobody wants to make their own cake. Nobody, right? Nobody wants to put in the effort to make their own cake so that they can eat it. Nobody wants to get in their car. Nobody wants to go to the store. Nobody wants to spend their own money. Nobody wants to get all of the ingredients necessary to make the cake. Nobody wants to come back home. Nobody wants to take all of those ingredients, put them in a bowl, crack the eggs, put those in the bowl, mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it. Nobody wants to pour that into a pan. Nobody wants to put that in the oven, turn the oven on, turn the timer on, and wait for that to get done so that they can then take it out, decorate it, put the icing on it, make it edible and enjoyable, and then eat it for themselves. Everybody wants their cake and to eat it too, but nobody wants to make their own cake. Here's the thing. Nobody is going to make a cake for you unless it's your birthday. But 364 days out of the year, it ain't. Right? And so if you want to have a cake and you want to eat that cake, you have to make the cake for yourself. If you have dreams, if you have goals, and you want to accomplish those, nobody's going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. If you want to make a positive difference in the world, nobody can do that for you. You have to make the choice to do it, and you have to put in the work and the effort to make it happen. Right? How many of you believe that you can change the world in a positive way? All right, so let me say this statement to you, okay? You can do things that you think are impossible right now. But you sometimes have to develop the mindset to do those things. How do I know that? Why would I say that? Let me tell you this real quick story. So about 3 months or a little over that, back in July, I broke my ankle. So I was actually traveling for work. I was up near Mount Shasta. And I don't know if you've been up there, but obviously surrounded by mountains. There's lots of rivers that you can swim in. I'm pretty adventurous. I decided to jump into a river. So I asked around about good spots to jump. I found one. I went there. I jumped into a river, 25-foot jump. Okay? Now, unbeknownst to me and unbeknownst to even the locals, there was this big chunk of rock that had fallen in there recently. And so when I jumped in, I hit that rock. I broke my ankle. I swam about 40 or 50 feet. I got up out of the river. I was standing on the rock, and then I realized I'd broken my ankle the second I tried to stand up. Major problem standing in front of me. There's this big 15-foot cliff. That's the only way for me to get out. I had to climb it. I was the only one there. So what did I do? How do you climb a cliff with a broken ankle? I used my hands, I used my feet, I used my elbows, I used my knees, I used my toes. And finally I got to the top. I was able to get to a hospital and get treated for my broken ankle. What did I learn that day? I learned that day that you never know what you can do until you don't have a choice but to do it. But if you can do it when you don't have a choice, that means you can do it when you do. And if you're not doing it yet, it simply means you haven't developed the mindset to do it yet, but you can. And so if you think you can't change the world in a positive way, you just got to develop the mindset. So one way that you can develop the mindset to do that is to get involved in things like this that will help you change the world in a positive way. So as long as you have breath in your lungs, you are a force for change in the world, a force for positivity, and you can use that to make a difference. As long as you have breath in your lungs, you have greatness to give. So don't be stingy. Use what's inside of you to make a difference. This program is one way that you can make a difference. This program is one of millions of ways that you can make a difference. So I challenge you today, each and every one of you, as unique and as beautiful as each and every one of you are, you can all change the world in a very unique way that only you can, in a way that nobody ever has, in a way that nobody ever will because you're so unique. But there's millions of ways you can do that. This program is just one of those ways. So, if you're interested in this program, then that's great. If you're not, choose another way to make a positive difference, but choose some way to make a positive difference in the world. Right? That's my challenge to you now.